Today's subject is profoundly important for all of us here in America. Everything you hear, you should strive to remember and put into practice. It's so easy to be inspired momentarily and then forget what you heard. That is why Paramahansa Yogananda often employed repetition to penetrate the hard core of human consciousness, both in India and now here in America. A truth must be repeated again and again until it becomes a habitual part of one's thoughts. There is a vast difference between just listening to wisdom and applying the truths it contains. Everything his guru Swami Sri Yukteswar told him, Paramahansa Yogananda put into practice. As a result of this training, he always kept his spiritual priorities straight, even after coming to America. He never missed three things: his meditations morning and night, his exercises, and service to others. Living in the consciousness of God, Paramahansa Yogananda found that many things that once seemed necessary became unnecessary. Sometimes he felt no need for sleep because his awareness of God was so strong. These experiences come from direct realization, and one day they can be part of your realization too, here in America as anywhere else. Through divine consciousness, it is possible to transmit spiritual light to those who are in tune. Just as the wealthy man can bestow his fortune on worthy children, so can the spiritually wealthy bequeath divine riches to disciples who follow their example. This is true of all great masters. Many come to the spiritual path, but it is those who remain steadfast to the end who will enter the kingdom of heaven. True devotees pursue God steadily, never doubting Him. It doesn't matter whether He answers or not. The devotee prays, "Lord, you know I am coming, so I care not when you will reply, though I am undeserving of your response." As soon as God is convinced that you are earnest and nothing can turn you away from Him, then through the Guru, He gives you final realization. The Guru transmits the light of God that flows through him. Beginning with this new year, make firm spiritual resolutions, whether you're in America or anywhere in the world. Life is a matrix of consciousness. We are made of the matrix of consciousness. All life was spun out of one source, the river of consciousness. Your individualized consciousness is the very foundation of your existence. All of your thoughts and actions are bubbles and droplets of this river of consciousness. The seemingly solid body is actually a mass of electromagnetic currents. According to Paramahansa Yogananda, all creation derives from what he called thought-rans, the consciousness of God. In the ultimate sense, all things are made of pure consciousness. If you want to change anything in yourself, you must change the process of thought that occasions the materialization of consciousness into different forms. That is the only way to remold your life. Most people who decide to stop smoking or eating sweets, and I see this everywhere in America, will continue those actions despite themselves. They do not change because their minds have soaked up the habits of thought like blotting paper. Habit means that the mind believes it cannot get rid of a particular thought. Habit is indeed tenacious. Once you perform an action, it leaves an impression on consciousness. After several repetitions, that inclination becomes so strengthened that the action becomes a habit. In some people, just one act is enough to form a habit because of latent predispositions from past lives. But habits are nothing but repetitions of your own thoughts, and these you have the capacity to change. The nature of habits can be understood through this analogy. Clay can be molded into a vase, and while soft, it's easy to change its form again and again. But once fired in an oven, its shape becomes firmly set. So it is with your consciousness. Your thoughts are molding your actions, and your mental convictions from repetition are the fire that hardens thoughts into unyielding habit patterns. Why are all faces different? Because all minds are different. Your habit patterns of thoughts have molded not only your mind, but also your body. Some thin people eat 5 meals daily, yet never gain weight, while heavy people eat little yet become heavier. The former established the thought of being thin in a past life and brought that tendency into this existence. If you want to change your constitution, you must say, "It is I who thought myself into being thin or heavy or sickly. Now I will myself to be robust or whatever I desire." As Paramahansa Yogananda taught, if you get rid of the thought that made you other than you want to be, you will see the body change. Old age is a state of mind. Most people are psychological antiques. They never change. Year after year, always the same. This I have observed both in India and here in America. Everyone has self-limiting idiosyncrasies created by themselves, not by God. If you feel your character is not what it should be, remember it was molded by none other than yourself. There are outside influences, but inner acceptance is the determining factor. One must never give up hope of becoming better. A person is old only when they refuse to make the effort to change. That stagnant state is the only old age worth recognizing. Try to be more pliable, like children. Those who are always ready to improve and expand themselves are like receptive children. Those who grow in understanding become more childlike. Paramahansa Yogananda emphasized that willpower is the instrument of change. When a bad habit is fixed in your mind and you want to change it, you must use strong will to pulverize that habit. Strong will means strong conviction. The minute you say to yourself, "I am not bound by this habit," and mean it, the habit will be gone. Look within and determine your main characteristics. Don't try to change what is good in yourself, but eliminate those things you do against your will that make you unhappy afterward. How? Affirm with conviction. Before bed and on rising say, "I can change. I have the will to change. I will change." Hold this thought throughout the day. Suppose your problem is frequent anger, followed by regret. Every night and morning, make up your mind to avoid anger, then watch yourself carefully. The first day may be difficult, but the second will be easier. The third, easier still. After a few days, you'll see that victory is possible. In a year, you will be another person. Paramahansa Yogananda shared that in childhood, he used to get angry at injustices. One day, he saw how foolish it was. He couldn't change the world through wrath. When he came to America, he brought this same wisdom to help Americans find inner peace. Freedom is to act for your highest welfare. You must be free, unenslaved by habits, the wish to please society, or anything else. This freedom is available to every American, to every human being. True freedom is doing what you should do for your highest welfare. Everything that great ones have warned against is like poisoned honey. It may taste sweet, but after you taste the sweetness, it will destroy you. Evil was made sweet to delude you. In this new year, change your consciousness. America has given me the opportunity to share these ancient teachings with a new audience. Cultivate right conduct and good habits that lead to freedom. When you can choose goodness of your own free will, that is true freedom. Both discrimination and willpower are necessary. Discrimination is your keen eyesight, and will is your power of locomotion. Without will, you may know what's right, but not act on it. Willpower is easy to develop. Try first for small accomplishments. Gradually, you'll overcome tendencies you thought impossible to conquer. Watch your consciousness constantly. Develop the habit of self-examination, watching and analyzing your thoughts and behavior. When you see signs of bad habits, that's when to discriminate and resist with willpower. Habits are simply thoughts grooved deeply into the brain. The needle of the mind plays those records again and again, but applying mind and will can change those patterns. Don't attempt dramatic changes immediately. Experiment in little things first to train your inherent power of command. My American students have shown me that this method works universally. Face your bad habits and conquer them. Your bad habits are the satanic influence that has kept God out of your life. Good habits open the door to divine realization and lasting happiness.